going on, people? Welcome to Live News. We'll be discussing all the latest rumours, finalised deals, and everything related to Palace. If you do enjoy it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to not miss out on future Palace content. I'm joined by Patrick to discuss all the latest. And yesterday was a quiet day, Patrick, but today there's a bit going on. Of course, we've got players going out on loan, rumoured players to come in, and also players that maybe we all wanted at the club not potentially happening. And let's start off with that. If you enjoy the show, if you have any questions, leave down your comment in the comment section down below. If you're watching it live, put it in the live section and we'll try to read them out throughout the show. Won't be going on for too long today. We'll get straight on to the point. And Patrick, let's talk about the first bit of news, and that is with Wan-Bissaka. According to the Daily Mail, it seems like we've been dealt a blow as they are reporting that Wan-Bissaka is set to stay at Manchester United. Look, for me, this is not a massive surprise if you consider what's been going on over the last 2 to 3 weeks. He has been involved with Ten Hag, and he has been playing because Dallow's been out injured, and he has actually looked good for them, which is the key thing, because I remember we didn't want him. I don't know why people in our fan base didn't want him back. But look, he's looked decent for them, and it seems like they're not bringing in another right back because the Glazers are pretty much selling the club, so they don't want to spend money. And, you know, he won't be coming back to Palace. This hurts because I feel like he'll be the ideal right back replacement right now. He fits in. He knows the club. He knows the area. He knows the players as well. It would have been so simple. But now that that's gone, Patrick, pretty much, how do you feel about it? Are you slightly worried that, you know, with the right back options that we've been rumored with, barely anyone so far this window apart from Wan-Bissaka?
As I've stated many times on this show and other shows, that I never thought he'd come back. I always thought that if Ten Hag can make him into a better player, which Ten Hag does, he was never going to come back. So from that standpoint, I'm not surprised. I understand why he's staying. I just want to go back, Dee, because what people seem to always forget, and I understand why, we actually did address the right back issue in Nathan Ferguson 3 years ago, but he got injured. So we did try and address it. Since then, we've done nothing to address it. I will agree with that. But we did try to address it right away. It didn't work out. So right now, am I concerned about the lack of interest in the right back? It depends. I listened to Vieira's press conference this morning, and his whole point about transfers is the player or players have to fit our profile. I don't know the profile, D. You don't know it, but I'm sure that Friedman, Parrish, and Vieira do. And I'm also sure that
the profile though.
I don't.
We do. It's young players. Yeah, young players. That has a room for growth. That seems like it's been a profile ever since Vieira's joined. Like we're trying to grow these players into their full potential.
But it's not just that, D. The player also has to be a certain player that fits into our style of play. It's not just the age part, which I agree with you, Eze or Lise. It's also player has to be someone that wants to come to London and play for one. Club has to want to sell him or loan him another one. We have to have the money to be able to pay for him another one. And also, that player has to fit into that style. Doucouré, perfect example. He was French with a lot of French players. His style fits us. But right now, am I concerned about not having a right back option? Of course I am. But I also feel that if we are going to get a right back, that player has to fit the profile. Was it Wan-Bissaka? Clearly not, because they didn't want to get rid of him, which is fine. I know what they want to do. Are we going to address it with another player? Hopefully at some point. But right now, I've heard nothing. So to me, clearly right now, we're not bringing a right back in. Let's address the other issue, which is centre midfield.
And we'll talk about centre midfielder because there's actually a midfielder that we're linked with. Funny enough, I think it's probably one of the fewest ones. It's not me. I'll cite the sources and later on when we talk about the centre mid. But with Wan-Bissaka, the only thing that I have to say is I genuinely thought that he would be our main right back option before the window opened and before he was playing for Man United. But now, I don't think we sign another right back. I don't think we go in us. I genuinely don't see us signing another right back. Especially in this window until the summer.
I agree.
I feel like we put our eggs in that basket. We were hoping for the best, and now that he's staying at Man United, according to the reports, I think that's it. That's it for the right back position for this window.
But I disagree with you on this standpoint. One, we don't know what they're talking about in the background, and two, you guys, being you and T, spoke about a player I think it's a better option. That's Sasha Bowie, the kid out in for Fenerbahce. For me, is it Fenerbahce or Galatasaray he plays for?
No, Galatasaray.
Right. We're playing. They're playing actually this afternoon. I'm gonna watch the game later on. But to me, he's a better option. The issue with him, obviously, is that if I'm Galatasaray, I'm not selling him now because why would I? You know what I mean? They're going for the championship. You know what I mean? You can ask for whatever you want, but to me, Sasha Bowie would be a better profile of player to come in than Wan-Bissaka. So I'm hoping that he might still be an option for us, but we'll see.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest. Even though we spoke about it here, it genuinely flew out of my mind. Yeah, there is him as an option as well. And that depends on if Galatasaray want to sell him, and I think they will for the right price. I think they will for the right price. I think they will for the right price. But that's if we're willing to pay the price that they want, which shouldn't even be too much. In all honesty, they're not a Premier League club. For them, 15 to 20 million is very good. It's very good, and they bought him for cheap as well. So I guess there is that option. And now if Wan-Bissaka, if we know about it and he's staying, now it's time to be serious with that. If we are genuinely serious about improving the right back position. Now, our first option ain't there. Let's focus on Bowie. Let's try and get Bowie in, because now we know that Wan-Bissaka ain't joining us. He's at Man United. So that's how I see it. But look, that's Wan-Bissaka rumours. It hurts a bit, but as Patrick said there, very good point. We have another potential rumour, another potential link that could also join us in this window. Adam says not many people returning to club works well. I can see why Wan-Bissaka would not risk it as well. I think Wan-Bissaka, if he wasn't playing at Man United and if Ten Hag didn't have this conversation and didn't bring him back into the first team, I think he would easily join us back. I think Palace would be the most ideal situation coming back home, because he was actually rumoured with Wolves as well. And even in that article, I read that he would pick Palace. Palace are confident that he would pick them over Wolves. And there's a reason for that confidence. I'm pretty sure they've had talks before with Wan-Bissaka. But look, and not everyone wants him back. Sean, he's saying Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I don't want him back. Thank God. So
he's not coming back, so don't worry about it. Move on. We've moved on. So, yeah. It's not going to happen.
So you're happy about that. But look, Patrick, let's talk about a player that's actually left the club today, out on loan. John-Kymani Gordon, who's going to be linking up with Carlisle to the end of the season to get valuable experience of senior football as he joins the League 2 club that's aiming for promotion. I'm happy with this because I realistically don't see how Gordon is going to be playing in the first team. League 2 football, very competitive. They're also doing well there as well. So it's good experience from here to the end of the season to get, some senior football minutes under his belt. And overall, I think in the long run, as we've seen with Adam Roller, I know it didn't work out for him, but in the long run, whether it goes good or bad, it will get valuable experience for him in his senior career. And so I'm overall happy with this loan move.
No, I absolutely love it. He's 19 years old, 11 goals in like 8 matches he scored in one stretch. He was the Premier League 2 Player of the Month, I think in September. Trained with the first team, been on the bench a couple of times. But at this age, perfect time for him to go. A League 2 side that's trying to get promotion, I think for him is perfect. He can play off the left mostly, he can play off the right, can play as a striker. For me, I watched this morning even. I even watched the game this morning against Sheffield United, the under-21s. To me, he's the most ready player to go out on loan as far as what we have. Next player I would put out on loan might be Joe Whitworth. But I'd say stick around to be our third keeper. But to me, Kymani Gordon has been injured a lot. He was injured a couple of years ago. For me, for him to go out on loan now is perfect timing. Hope he does well. I think it's a good experiment for him to go into. So I'm looking forward to see how he does.
Exactly. And even in terms of like the long-term future, even if he doesn't play for us, when we're sending these players out on loan, it's setting themselves up and it's showing them at different levels. Exactly. Funny enough, he has played first team football this season. If you remember, we actually done a watch along. Yeah, that's the only watch along we've done.
That's right. We did game against Bristol Rovers, Yeah,
and he did struggle to be
everybody did.
Everyone pretty much did. But look, at least now he'll be able to play at a consistent level and play consistent week in, week out, and play with men. That's the biggest difference.
That's the key.
You have and it's not easy down there. People are fighting for their lives, fighting for their trying to get their earnings down in League 2. It's not like they're earning millions a week. So it should be good. It should be good for him. We got a question from the Guido brothers. It says, does Edouard start this weekend? We spoke about this in a match preview, but check that out after this one. We spoke about a lot. We spoke about Chelsea as well, and hopefully it doesn't bite us back. Some people are confident. Patrick,
no, I'm not. I said 0-0. How is 0-0 confident? That's like not losing.
No spoiler alerts. But I think Edouard does start, and I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. It would make no sense for me for the only striker that's been on form this season for him not to start in the game against Chelsea.
You know what's funny, D, is that for some reason, obviously someone asked Vieira this morning about Tariq Mitchell. He said, he'll be back and he's definitely going to be starting. Vieira never said that about a player, but it's so bad at left back. He already said he's definitely starting left back. You know what I mean? So
That is
we'll
funny.
see.
That's how bad
Yeah.
it is. That
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's definitely
like,
starting.
trust me, he's 100% starting. There's no questions about it.
No questions.
Oh,
exactly.
that is.
So,
I shouldn't laugh, but it pretty much sums up where we are right now.
it really does. It really does.
With certain positions and depth in them. Mitch says, I'd be worried about him coming back. I think it's about Wan-Bissaka because I'm worried he's no longer the same player who left. He's one of our own. So if he wanted to return, we should do what we could to make it happen. I disagree with this because this was the general comment and perception about Wan-Bissaka coming back. Like he's no longer the same player that left. No, maybe he wasn't at that period. But look at the likes of Marcus Rashford under Ten Hag. Look at the likes of even Wan-Bissaka now. Now he's getting opportunities under Ten Hag. I think Wan-Bissaka joined the wrong club at the wrong time with the manager, with all the mess that was going on at Man United. We saw it at Man United. Lots of players flop, players that were valued around 70 to 80 million pounds. So what happened before in Man United? I don't think that was a real, actual, the right thing to judge what we think of Wan-Bissaka because everyone was struggling at Man United at that period. So I don't think Wan-Bissaka was ever done. He was just at the wrong club at the wrong time. Like, I think he always had that talent in him. That's what I believed anyways. And now what he's doing with Ten Hag makes me even more confident in that belief because you just can't lose it all. Like, form is temporary, but you have that bit of class. And when Wan-Bissaka left, people forget he was very good. He was extremely good for us. And there was talks about him being...
here's the thing, though, D, is that Ten Hag, one, is an excellent trainer and an excellent manager. He's going to make Wan-Bissaka better. But when Dalot is fit, Wan-Bissaka's not going to start. He'll play every once in a while. I mean, remember, they're in a bunch of... They're still in the League Cup, still in the FA Cup. They're still in, in the Europa League. So he's going to play, but he's not going to play as much as Dalot plays because Dalot is a better player than him. But he will no doubt get better playing on this Ten Hag because Ten Hag is an excellent manager. He just is. He just is an excellent manager.
Yeah, but if he's playing well under Ten Hag, then that means there's something about him that's always been there. You know, when we spoke about Wan-Bissaka on these shows, we were talking about, well, not me anyways. We were talking about how he's finished because of what's happened at Man United. Whereas that didn't show the clear picture because everyone was struggling at Man United before Ten Hag, including the likes of Marcus Rashford. Now he's firing ever since Ten Hag's come in. So the manager matters and the environment matters. The environment at Man United was toxic even months ago. So how do you expect Wan-Bissaka to flourish in that system?
I agree with that, but that doesn't mean that because Ten Hag makes him better, Vieira makes him better. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It mean because I believe, and this is not a major statement, Ten Hag is a much better manager than Patrick Vieira is. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that doesn't mean that.
I think Vieira still makes him better than what we have right now in terms of our current options. I don't think Vieira makes him that. I think Wan-Bissaka's natural abilities will shine. Like there comes a time where yeah. So
we'll see.
I would have liked it, but we're not going to see clearly according to the reports because it's not going to happen. Irv says, "What are your score predictions on Sunday?" Look, we've done it on a match preview, but
check the preview out.
Yeah, check the preview out. We spoke about it there.
We like the views. We need the views.
Is that
and the likes.
Red says Wan-Bissaka doesn't go forward enough.
He's not great at that.
Maybe you can say. Maybe you can say he's not as good as other fullbacks are, modern fullbacks are going forward. Right. But even then, Patrick, as of late, when he has been playing, he hasn't looked even that bad going forward for Man United.
No, he's not bad. I mean, clearly,
he needs to be a winger. How bad can he be?
Right. The point is, but the modern fullbacks need to be able to go forward and defend. His speciality, obviously, is defending. He's an excellent defender, but he's not as good going forward. But if he was great at both, I mean, he would definitely come out the Palace. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's that.
Sean says, "Lol, we're beating Chelsea 3-0." See, Sean's watched the video. That's someone's prediction. I'm not going to say whose. That was someone's prediction. And they're on the show right now.
No. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm pretty sure nobody predicted 3-0 to Palace. Well, I'm pretty sure no one did.
Well, you was on a match preview and someone literally did, but
there were 4 people on that show. Me, you, T, and Stan. I'm pretty sure I don't remember anybody saying that, but I could be wrong.
Well, you wasn't focused on
3-0 Palace. Really?
Yeah.
But you know what? Spoiler alert. Check out the show and let me know who said that.
Exactly. Adam says Aaron Wan-Bissaka is damn solid and will be moving forward at United. I just fear our nostalgia for him will be too much, but better options than what we have now. Exactly, 100% agree.
Adam makes so much sense, man. When you put Adam on the show, Adam makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Get him on the show.
Jude says leave a like. listen to Jude.
Thank you,
Leave a
Jude.
like.
Appreciate that. Big up.
It only takes a second of your time and helps us out massively. Look, let's move on to the final rumor before the weekend kicks off, and that is on the Club Brugge youngster, Noah Mamba. Mamba, yes, that's it. He's a midfielder, central defensive midfielder potentially as well. Only just turned 18. But according to reports in Germany, Bayern Leverkusen was very heavily interested in him. But that report also indicates that Chelsea and Palace are now ready to pay whatever Club Brugge want for him at this current moment of time. So, Patrick, two things that we spoke about before air. He's only played, 2 appearances this season?
Twice, correct.
Yeah, twice for Club Brugge. And he just turned 18 last week, or was it this week?
January 5th. January 5th, he turned 18 last week.
So when you look at the names that's been mentioned, apart from Palace, we kind of spoiled the fun. Bayern Leverkusen, Chelsea. Clearly, there must be some type of talent in him for us to be interested. But if it was a case that, you know, we went out and bought him, do you think Patrick Vieira realistically will play an 18-year-old week in, week out in midfield?
Absolutely no
But we need
way.
a midfielder, though. That's the thing. We need a midfielder.
Okay.
It's not like a Bilway situation where we have options there. We genuinely need a midfielder next to Decore.
100% agree we need a midfielder. If the kid was a couple of years older, had a little bit more pedigree about him, I would say yes. I'm going to be honest with you. I told you before we started the show, I don't know anything about him. But the thing is, he's just turned 18. There is no chance that we buy an 18-year-old kid from a different country, Belgium, and stick him right into our midfield. That's not going to happen. As someone said in the chat, I'd rather play David Ozo, who's a year younger than that kid, because he's actually been at preseason, been around the first team, knows our system. It doesn't make any sense. Now, if it's one for the future, I'm all for it. I love players that are young for the future. But for this season, can we get a midfielder that can actually get in the midfield and help us right now, please? I'm not looking for the future now.
We can't get one on Sunday. All we have to do is just bring him back with us on the team bus. It's not that hard.
Please don't do that. Don't do the Conor Gallagher. Don't do that again.
We're literally going to his house.
Again,
yeah,
this is the
and they don't rate
thing.
him at Chelsea.
Nostalgia.
They don't rate him at Chelsea. No. It's not the Wan-Bissaka thing. Conor Gallagher, there's way better chance of Conor Gallagher joining than Wan-Bissaka at this current moment of time.
How's there a better chance?
At this current moment of time.
Based on what?
There is because he hasn't been performing as great at Chelsea, even when he's been coming off the bench, and they don't rate him. Like, so that means might rate him. And plus, they're buying new players as we speak. Like, they spent about 400 million pounds, and I doubt that the business is over and done with yet. And
they buy a new player, D, every week. They've also got.
No, let's be honest though. Let's be honest though. When it comes to Conor Gallagher, is he good enough for Chelsea? I think what some of us were thinking when he left us is that Conor Gallagher was never a great technical. He was never a great technical midfielder. He was just very good. He's a system player. You put him in the right system, you get the best out of him. But when he joins a big club and you're asking too much of him in terms of dictating the play, doing this, that, no, he's a very good presser. He can go into the box. You have to limit his responsibilities. And that's why I feel like he suits better for clubs like Palace than the likes of Chelsea. Because at Chelsea,
I wouldn't even say clubs like Palace. He went to West Brom, didn't do great there. They got relegated.
But that was down to the system. That was down to the system under Sam Allardyce.
You didn't let me finish. My point was that Patrick Vieira figured a way to use him in the best way. Have him press, have him give him a free roll, have him go box to box, that kind of thing. Clearly, Potter doesn't want him in that role, can't use him in that role, and clearly Tuchel didn't use him in that role. So going back to Chelsea was his fault, but I understand why he went back. He's a Chelsea, fan as a kid.
Yeah, he wanted to try it. Yeah. He wanted to try it. Now it didn't work out. Now he can come back home. That's it. That's all I asked for. Like you went and tried it.
Not now. He's not coming back now.
Exactly. Well, let's see. He might score against us on Sunday again because it's the only.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
That 90s kid says, no man by signed for Bayern Leverkusen. I'm sure joins him in the summer. He's very close to signing for them. I don't think it's been official yet. But yeah, Bayern Leverkusen is leading the race, but Chelsea and Palace got mentioned fairly recently. But yeah, it seems like Leverkusen are after him. But we'll see how he does for Leverkusen. If a club like Bayern Leverkusen is interested in him and is 18 years old, there must be something in his game that he can definitely contribute for Palace.
No, D, we know he's got potential. We have to agree though. There's no chance he gets into that midfield this season at 18 years old. There's no way. But does he have talent? I'm sure he does. I mean, Leverkusen doesn't pick up rubbish players. They just don't. So I get that part. But for Palace this season, come on, man. Let's get a ready-made midfielder in there soon. Not named Conor Gallagher. All right, so you can get past
well,
that.
you ruined the fun. I was about to say, yeah, we got
Again.
someone. Sean says, but PV has to play him if we pay a lot of money, so the board would pledge a PV to play him. I think that's about no Mamba. That's if it was to happen. In all honesty, no Mamba. The reason why I'm mentioning it is because he was literally rumored with us. But as that 90s kid said, he's more likely to join Bayer Leverkusen because they've been interested in him, and the reports are coming from Germany as well, which pretty much sums up like it seemed like that's the main connection. But look, good chat, Patrick. We spoke about a few, well, not few, one incoming. Potentially, well, two if you include Gallagher. That hope is still there.
You made that up just now, Gallagher. You just do that for no reason. What do you mean Gallagher's not coming back?
You have to manifest it. You have to manifest it
into reality.
You have to manifest it. Exactly. You have to
you.
manifest it. But look, let's answer a few more questions before we actually go.
Sure.
The 90s kid says it's all good looking at players who have potential, but why not go for someone ready now to walk into the team?
Just said that. Thank you, 90s kid. Agree, mate. 100%.
The problem is for Palace, we're absolutely cheap. That's the main problem. And I'm gonna stick with that until they prove me wrong. Because some of the players like Haji Rat and stuff, £7-8 million. Like them type of rumors.
He's going to Brentford and he's gonna do well there. Watch.
Yeah,
just watch that happen.
Brentford. I don't care. Let him go Brentford.
No, I'm just saying. No, he's not coming to Palace.
Kendi says, do you think Palace will get top 10 or move forward if you get a goal scorer?
No, not me.
No. If I don't think goal scorer is our main problem.
Yeah,
people think that about Palace. Funny enough, a goal scorer is not a problem. We need a right back, and we need a centre mid. We literally have no centre mid. Exactly. If we get,
and I'll say again, if you gave me a choice, get one player, give me the midfielder.
Yeah,
give me the midfielder.
Yeah,
give me the midfielder right now. Exactly.
Adam says ready-made midfield. I heard Messi's missing ready bleeping. Like I'll be transferring.
Get Adam on the show. I agree. We need Messi.
Yeah, we need Messi. To be
you know what? Look what I have on. Look, I got Barcelona top on right now. Barcelona. Underneath my Palace top. So yeah.
You might as well show your true colours. You might as well show you might as well show your true colours. Take off the Palace top, but you might as well do the Barca top at this rate.
I'm a closet.
Colin says Mamba is a long-term target to play alongside Decore, so would have thought he'd be progressed and more before he settles alongside him in the first team. They're saying that if he's strong enough, PV might put him in. PV said he's looking at players who have strength in midfield, beef us up a bit more. Where's Yedai? Let's go back.
Exactly. We're good now.
Yeah, exactly.
We need him.
Sean says if we're willing to pay 40 million for Conor Gallagher, I don't think that's cheap. I don't know where you've heard that, but we are not. I don't think we're paying 40 million for Conor Gallagher. If we'd done that, I would actually look. I love Gallagher to bits.
You'd be upset, wouldn't you?
We got scammed.
That's madness. I agree. That's madness. I'm not paying 40 million for him. No chance. No chance.
That is mental.
I can get 2.5 players for that. I'm not paying him 40 million. No chance.
I think the best Chelsea should be happy if they got around 25 to 30. Even that.
His value is dropping. So I don't know what it's going to be. It's definitely not 40 million.
In a way, it's helping us. The more
it is,
Chelsea,
right.
the more his value is dropping. At this rate, he's going to be at the same value as Jeffrey Schlupp in a few weeks.
Oh wow, that's not going to happen.
I'm joking. All right, guys. Not that I would want him to go, but as a Spurs fan, would you take Papa?
Yes,
mate.
I take Sarr.
But would Spurs let him leave?
They're not going to. It's like saying, can we get Jed Spence? He's not leaving either. So I mean, I take Spence and Sarr on loan. No, I think
Spence out on loan.
I think Spence wants to leave. I don't think Spurs want to let him go. I think Spence hasn't played. I know he wants to leave, but he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. We will like a result, says Luke. He ain't worth that, says Joshua. 100% agree. I don't think Gallagher's worth 40 million. I mean, yeah, we would have to be very dumb to pay that much for Conor Gallagher. Tom says, I guess just one loan players if we're lucky.
Central midfielder, I'll take it.
I just don't know who we're going to loan as a central midfielder. In honesty, there's also that. I mean, it's a weird position, ain't it? Like, you can't technically, like, I'm just trying to think, like, what central midfielder can you loan right now? What players have we been rumored with in midfield, let alone to loan them out? Hardly any. But hopefully we get business sorted. Colin says, go to Crystal Palace Revolution page and share the Gallagher post I made up, especially T. You will love it. I'm not on Facebook, so yeah. maybe Patrick can check that out. Sean says last summer we were willing to pay it. Exactly.
We were. That's scary.
Yeah, it's
we were. Sean, you're right, mate. We were.
But to be fair, if we did pay that 40 million last summer, and if Gallagher was playing like he was before for us, we wouldn't say that 40 million was a waste. And that's a perspective.
You are so right. But what's I always say about football, right? It's about perspective. You're absolutely right, D.
Because trust me, I think everyone would have been massive. We would have been happy with 40 million for Conor Gallagher last summer. Especially when you look at our situation right now.
But I'm not paying it now.
How it works out.
But I'm not paying that now.
Sean says Aaron, not Wan-Bissaka, Max Aarons from Norwich. He's a right back. Yeah, we've been rumored with him for years. And
he's not going to be cheap.
He's still at Norwich. What's happened? Like he's meant to leave Norwich like every summer. It's like
go to Barcelona. Remember the Barcelona?
Yeah, go to Barcelona, Tottenham, and like he's still fairly young. He turned 23 just fairly recently. Yeah. So it's not like I know. Well, I know of Aaron's from a young age because of one of my boys who plays.
Your friend, right? Played with him, right?
Yeah. He played for Norwich. So it's mental. He's been rumored to leave for years, and he's still at Norwich. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Hayden says Spence might leave. Conte said it's not his signing and is pretty much refusing to play him. If he was to leave, Patrick, would you want him on loan without an option to buy for the next 6 months? Because I'll be honest,
without an option to buy, no.
No, I say the same thing. Look, I think he makes us better. Don't get me wrong. Right. He makes us better. But we've been in this position before. What's the point of signing Spence for 6 months? Our season is pretty much
making him better. Anyways. Making him better, and then Spurs sell him to some club for like 50 million in the summer. Nah, that's all right, mate.
60 million for him, is that
right? Exactly. Yeah, I'm okay, mate. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I don't think
option has to be
as much as I would love Spence to join us.
I agree.
I would love it if we had an option to buy. I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't want to have this Gallagher situation. I don't want to have this Ruben Loftus-Cheek situation.
Yep.
Like I've had enough. Had enough. We should learn as a football club after a certain period of time. Is it going to make... Let's say we had a full squad and we had midfielders, the proper striker, and all that was missing was Spence. Then, that's a different situation. Bring in Spence, let's push on. But we got so many other worries that even if we bring in Spence, it's not going to make us that much better. Like, he will make us better, but we've got other priorities. And I still feel like unless we get a midfielder, Spence, and maybe another fullback in other areas, there's literally no point. The season is a write-off for me at this point.
Hey,
maybe Palace proves us wrong.
Do you know what I just realized? We have 3 players in our current squad that we loaned at first and then we bought them after. Do you know who they are?
In our current squad?
Yes.
We loaned them.
We loaned them in the beginning and we end up buying them. We had an option.
Loan them out?
No, we loaned them to Palace. They did well, and then we decided to buy them.
Who on earth did we loan in and decided to buy right now? It's not clicking.
Will Zaha. Will Zaha came back. Will Zaha was initially a loan.
But that doesn't really count because he's
no. But I'm just saying. Listen to this. Mateta was a loan which we bought, and Jordan Ayew was a loan that we bought. So I mean, we do it sometimes. We forget about it.
We just do it when it's howlers, absolute howlers.
No, Zaha's the howler.
No, apart from one.
My point is, clearly that's our best option. We have to start going back to, if you're going on as a player, we have the option to buy, as opposed to, no, let's make Loftus-Cheek better, let's make Gallagher better. You know what I mean? We got to go back to that because otherwise it's a joke.
Do you think Vieira has the next 5 games to prove himself?
To do what? Prove himself to do what? He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
And I don't want him to go anywhere. Even if we lose the next 4 games, we've got tough games coming up. And plus, look at our squads. Like, what do you expect?
Exactly, right.
Look, this is how I see it. You get rid of Vieira, that's fine. You might have a short-term fix. You might bring in the likes of Sean Dyche. But in the long term, it's just not going to be sustainable. The actual problem is the quality of players. You just want to bring in Sean Dyche because we don't have a good enough squad. How about we actually improve our squad and get a manager that
give him a chance
and that can progress us?
Yep.
Rather than having a limited squad, bring in a manager that's done well with limited squad. But I'd rather, the problem is bigger than Vieira. The problem is the lack of investment into the first team. Our players are not good enough. So even if Vieira leaves, it might have a short-term fix, but in the long term, we still need to go and invest. We still need to bring in players if we want to progress as a club.
Right now, stay up, get the stadium built, and next season, give him the players he wants. If he does poorly a year from now, then Luke's question is right. Let's see what Luke's about. I'm not going to get rid of him now. It makes zero sense to get rid of him now.
Yeah.
We're going to go right back to having Hodgson again. Hodgson, a short-term fix, poor squad, just want to stay up. No, that shows no ambition. Keep him for another year with some players that he wants.
The problem for me is bigger than Vieira. I'll say that. Vieira has
100%.
had faults. Don't get me wrong. He has had faults. Like, for example, starting Jeffrey Schlupp so just week in, week out was frustrating. Even though Will Hughes isn't a long-term answer, I feel like he would always be a better answer than Jeffrey Schlupp starting midfield. So there has been mistakes that I feel like Vieira should have done a bit better. And don't get me wrong. I think majority of managers have that phase. Vieira's growing on the job.
Of course.
But for me, if you're talking about the long-term project, it's just bigger than Vieira. Unless we go and bring in players, of course we're going to struggle. Look at our squads. Look at some of the players that's starting. Look at the players that's coming off the bench. What do you expect? Yep. It's an absolute joke. We've got some quality in there. People focus on the quality.
But the depth is not there.
Eze. But then when you look at the other players and the other positions, they're not even championship quality players. I've gone past that stage. Some of them don't even start for the championship. I've said it. Especially top half championship clubs. Because
every week they get worse. So they're championship, then they're League One, then they're League Two.
No. I feel like I can hold my hand up and I can say it's a mistake. I genuinely don't think some of the players that we have right now start for championship clubs. I gave them too much respect. If you look at championship clubs, Patrick, there's some quality players. We got them from championship clubs. And if you're, let's just say this. I don't want to use names. But as example purpose,
Don't do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to say.
Just do a position. Don't do a position. Don't do a name. Just do a position.
Yeah, if you look at for example, if you look at the fullbacks, some championship clubs, Jed Spence, who joined from Middlesbrough to Tottenham, like they got quality fullbacks. Like just because we say they're championship quality, some of them are not even top half championship quality. They're bottom half mid-table. That's a reality. That's a reality. That's how I see it, anyways. But look, 20. Let's.
I don't know who that is, but
catch up on the comments.
Aaron, I don't know who Lobotka is from Napoli, but if he's good, I'll take him. Aaron, I don't know who that is, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you, so.
Yeah, I'm not too sure as well. I use Smiles twice a year. That's because he scores twice a year.
Because he scores twice a year, exactly.
That's the reason. Collins says PV is the man like he was last season. We're only a couple of good players coming in from being what we were last season. Stop the stupid PV out, ridiculous. I agree. I genuinely agree.
I'm with you on that. But again, listen, you can have their opinions, but I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has their own opinions. Yeah. For me, I just think
I'm not in that boat yet. Not close.
Like last season was in a semi-final of the FA Cup in his first season, and we actually were very unlucky at times not to win games rather than get points out of games. Like everything was positive. The performance was positive, but now it's bigger than PV. Until we have investment, I think we'll be stuck here. It's not gonna change too much. But Patrick, do you want to answer this? Carlisle fan here. Thoughts on John-Kymani Gordon?
I think you've got a really good young player there. I think he can score goals at that level. For us, in our under-21s, he's our top goal scorer. When fit, he's been fit all season, which is great. He's quick. He's a good goal scorer. He can play off the left. So if I don't know what system Carlisle play. He can play centrally. He can play off the right. He's obviously naturally right-footed. I think you guys got a good player there, and I really hope that he does well. And because he's there now, I've now become a Carlisle fan. I hope you guys get promoted. Good luck this season.
Yeah, hopefully you guys and Gordon has a good end to the season.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Let's read some more comments before we wrap it up because I've got stuff to do. Luke says players are responsible for their performances. Management are looking for improvement.
Luke, that is a great. Listen, man, I'm with you. The last 3 or 4 losses we've had, you can blame the
effort's been pathetic.
Some of the players' the effort's been pathetic. It's been awful, and they gotta fix up, man. It was terrible. That was embarrassing.
It's terrible, exactly.
Yeah,
it's absolutely dreadful.
You're right, man.
Colin says people's forgetting PV still learning as a manager.
That's a great point.
And the great thing about YouTube is you guys can literally go back on all the videos and you can see what we've said. I might have had some howlers. We all have some howlers.
I've had plenty of them.
I did say, trust me, you've had plenty.
I'm not. Listen, I'll hold that. You're right. I'll hold that.
But one thing that I did say when Vieira first joined, and you can go and clip it and do whatever you want. I said the process is not going to be done in one summer. Nope. That is not going to be like that because one, we haven't got the money. Right. And also another thing that I said is I want Vieira to grow on the job. So for me, he can have mistakes because he's still fairly young when it comes to manager and experience. He's had experience here and there, but this is still fairly new to him. the management side of things. And I wanted to grow on the job. So as Connie says there, PV is learning on the job. Now that's massive. Let's see what he learns on the job. Let's see how much he improves. But we also need to back him. There's that two things. The process ain't
That's
done.
the backing is such a huge part. We never really backed him fully. We backed him, in ways with Eze, Olise, Gay, Anderson. We haven't fully backed him. When he's fully backed and he fails, then I'm going to say, you know what? Maybe time for change. We've never fully backed him. It's not fair to judge him. To me personally.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. That's what I think as well. But let's wrap this up. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to not miss out on future Palace content. We will be back on the weekend discussing that.
Do we have to?
I was about to say the word. That game, not that win or loss over Chelsea on Sunday for the live match reaction. But yeah, look, that's it from me and Patrick. Thanks to everyone who's watched us. And until next time, up the Palace.
Eagles.